Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily all signs forecast. It is a collective reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. It is originally created for Tuesday, October 11th. It is not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date, yet it seems to fit your situation, by all means, utilize the reading. If you're new to me, please check out the drop-down menu on any of my daily readings. In there is housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about, what decks I'm using, how to follow me on social media or contact me for a private reading. Also, simple ways to support the channel. You can do that by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, sharing the video out, or leaving me a question or comment. Now let's get into these cards and see what's going on. I will be referencing the Sunday underpinning energy, so if you hear me talking about cards you don't see in this reading, by all means, check out that video. It is the energy that is kind of what lies beneath what we're looking at today. And it populates in the lower left-hand corner underneath at the end of this video. Okay, so let's see what our card is for today. It is the King of Swords. Okay, so kind of like him, he's giving me a little bit of a Fu Manchu vibe. The King of Swords would be about logic over anything else. Being reasonable, thinking things through, cutting away excess, superfluous stuff, clear thinking. We do have that Temperance card in the beginning of the week in the Sunday reading, right? Which reminds us to be balanced, to be careful, to not make any rash judgments. I feel like this King of Swords also reminds us to use logic over emotions during this time. We did see the Hangman yesterday, which was a pause or wait for enlightenment. This King of Swords indicates that we might be getting some of the information that we need, or some of the answers, the clarity that we need. He values that. He is in charge, right? He is like clear thinking. We're not allowing our emotions to lead us today. We're allowing our logical thought to lead us. And in doing so, it might be bringing us some clarity, some insight, some foresight into the present moment and what it is that we need. The authority of the king also indicates this idea of sort of what it is that we need. The focus should be on that. The clarity of our thoughts and how we are either seeing a situation. We have the Nine of Swords coming in the midweek, so I feel like this may be a bit of a clear moment prior to it being shooken up, if that makes sense, or us questioning it with that Nine of Swords in the midweek. So I think that getting logical, getting clear, taking authority, making decisions from a logical standpoint is going to be key today, because it's going to help us to maybe move through that Nine of Swords. Now, our thoughts or our clarity may not be popular with everybody, because I felt like that Nine of Swords felt like we might be receiving outside judgment instead of it being more internal fears and worries. For some of you, it might be internal fears and worries, but it could be outside criticisms and judgments is what it felt like to me. So our opinion or our thoughts or our desires, whatever it is that we're thinking, communicating, needing, we might have to kind of back it up. This king would give us that power to back it up, but it may not be popular is my feeling. Remain calm. That's the influence of Temperance underneath this. Remain calm and stay true to yourself is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Now let's look at the Wild Mystic Oracle card. It is Protect. And I believe this is the sign for the Void Course Moon. I'm not sure, but it's a koala. Who doesn't love a good koala? A teddy bear, like cuddly, cute. The King of Swords is not going to be cuddly or cute. He's going to be very direct. But the koala might mean like be sweet to ourselves, because we may not be getting sweetness from others, especially with that Nine of Swords coming up in the midweek. Let me read Koala to you. This card represents protection from harm and comfort in difficult times. Unlike the Scorpion card, this card encourages a caring and reassuring form of protection often associated with caregivers. This card is the protection of a safe place, a thick blanket rather than a suit of armor. Despite its bear-like appearance, the koala is a marsupial. As with most marsupials, koalas care for their young using an abdominal pouch, keeping them safe, close, warm, and nourished. Koalas tend to avoid energy-heavy, hostile behavior unless it is necessary, but can be aggressive and territorial when forced. The koala card represents comforting protection. Sadly, many myths and legends of Australian Aboriginal people have been lost due to their recent tragic history. One surviving story from the Gumbaynggirr people of New South Wales is that of the Great Flood, in which a little boy uses koala intestines to create a bridge between the islands that emerged from the receding floodwaters. After the bridge was built, the people of Africa joined those of Australia, and the different Aboriginal tribes were born. Much like modern conservation efforts to keep the koala from extinction, this card promotes conservation of nature, protection of culture, and caring for others. Shadow reading. The koala gets very little energy from their diet, so the creatures conserve their energy through slow movement and regular rest. Consequently, the koala is often associated with laziness or lethargy. A shadow reading of this card may indicate protection without teeth. It is an offer of safety and comfort without sustaining the offer with action, care, effort, and defense. Without substantiating the offer with action, care, effort, and defense. The correspondences are earth. The flora is eucalyptus, angelica, calendula, and motherwort. The stones are cat's eye, carnelian, chlorite, fluorite, lapis lazuli, and peridot. And the spell work is protection of a loved one, the blessing of a new child, or dispelling nightmares. Interesting that it says dispelling nightmares with the 9 of Swords coming in the midweek. Also, I want to say that this koala kind of coincides with that Temperance card in the Hanged Man that we saw yesterday. There's a logic and a decision or a clarity that comes with the King of Swords, but we maybe aren't taking action on that, or, we might be holding that wisdom to ourselves. We saw the wisdom stone yesterday too. So whatever wisdom we gleaned through that Hanged Man experience, the koala kind of tells me maybe lay back, stay out of the drama, keep your clarity. You don't necessarily have to voice your thoughts or communicate them as of yet. Maybe there's still we're in that pause period, but we have the clarity that we need with the King of Swords here. Let's look at the clarifiers. First one out is the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is about, the expectation of what it is we desire spiritually coming to us. The clarity of the King of Swords would indicate that we've touched base with that, or that we're in communion with that. And the 3 of Wands would indicate the value of that, the experience and the excitement of that. And then koala energy to me says, protect your dreams, protect your desires, protect your clarity around what you need to do for yourself to get yourself there. Focus on those desires and move towards them. The next card is the Moon. Now, Moon is Piscean energy, which we saw, Pisces and Cancer energy. We saw a lot of Pisces energy in yesterday's reading. This Moon, to me, Moon can sometimes be confusion, intuition, trying to find the right answers and being unclear. I don't think that's the case here. I feel like this Moon card is calling out the full moon that we just had and the power of it. I feel like it's the full moon in Aries. So Aries is a very productive, wanting to move forward, get things done and take action energy. There's a lot of pause in my cards in the readings the last few days, and it's been major arcana energy. So it feels to me like this Moon is reminding us that what we expect, what we protect, what we keep clear in our mind, right? We can still manifest during this full moon period, right? We can still let go of things. I don't feel like this Moon offers confusion as much as it's reminding us of the power of the cycle that we're in, and to kind of channel that or connect to that intuition, to that deeper sense of self, and trust that truth, protect that truth, that wisdom, and work with that rather than, maybe outside influence. And then the last card is going to be the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups is emotion. It's about sort of being sad or looking at maybe what's been lost rather than what we have. We don't see that there's 2 of Cups behind him that are full. He's more dwelling upon the loss of something. The river's right there to refill our cups, and there's a house in the distance, which means there's still new beginnings to be had. There can still be that influence from yesterday's 8 of Cups of us walking away from something or changing our perception around something, gaining clarity around something that brings us a little bit of sadness or a disheartened feeling. Honor that feeling, right? Or if it's there within you, that change, that shift. 5s are often transitory, so to me, it feels like these 3 cards are telling us, trust your intuition, look to the future and the hope of that, and let go of the sort of the past or the sadness or whatever we might be holding on to that is no longer serving us, is my feeling. maintaining that sort of clarity and that temperance, that balance. If things aren't necessarily working out in the way that we thought that they would or should, that's okay. We still have options. We still have opportunity. We still have a way of moving forward. Now let's look to the grounding stone. And the grounding stone is freedom. So, grounding in our freedom for maybe, that we saw that Hanged Man, which is definitely a card of being sort of held back, right? Grounding in the idea of the freedom of logical thought of the King of Swords, the freedom of, freeing ourselves from maybe a situation that might be dramatic or traumatic or emotional for us. I would say that's kind of the energy of this Three of Wands, is sort of looking to the future, to new hopes, to new horizons, and releasing and letting go of maybe what's not serving us or what's causing us confusion. That would be the moon's influence, or emotional, kind of disturbance. Now, with the Nine of Swords coming in the midweek, we might still be struggling with some of this as we go, but grounding in this freedom should keep us clear and directed and able to move forward. Remember, this week's underpinning stone for the week is about our energy, how we're conserving it, how we're preserving it, how we're utilizing it, paying attention to that as we move through this week. So this focus on freedom and attaining that, and then moving to new horizons, might be rather important, if that makes sense. That is your reading for today. I hope it makes sense. By all means, please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy my content. Share the video out. Let your friends know about me. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're new, leave me a question or comment. Let me know if these videos are making sense to you. How are you doing during this full moon in the 1010 portal? Step through the door and let's see what's on the other side, is kind of the feeling that I get here. Have a great day, you guys, and take care. Bye-bye.